clapping in my ear.
Good job. That's what we needed. Right, that's all we needed. But welcome back, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
You can literally push the mic forward. You don't have to. Yeah.
Oh, I can sit like this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is different. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, that's why you sat there.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Brother.
But welcome back, everybody, to another episode of It's On Us podcast. Mm-hmm. Today, we have the crew, minus John, who's homesick. Shout out to John.
Get well, John.
Soon.
Get well, man.
But we have a very special guest. Like, top favorite guest we've had on this whole episode. All seasons, all 67 episodes and counting. But Mr. Jevon Terance.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod.
May I say it's an honor to be sitting next to such a multi-talented individual who is putting on not only for Lorraine but just the fashion world.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
that's what you want to hear, man.
Hell yeah. You're doing a great thing, man. Great thing.
Right.
So a question for you, Jevon. Out the gate already. So at what point, what was your like awakening moment? Like I arrived. This was like your
Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, because getting invited to Paris as a designer was like, I did my show at the Palace Theater. We showed the collection. But then it was funny because getting invited changed. I was like, I can't come from Lorraine and, take like mediocre pieces to Paris. So I selected a couple things from that collection and I just went into like red carpet design because I had to change the way I looked at it and not just take everyday wear pieces, which I'm an everyday wear designer on a higher level than like a Zara. So yeah. Moving into more luxury too. Okay. But luxury is a whole nother thing.
Do you want to get into luxury?
So the word luxury, you're talking about $10,000 pieces. So yeah, I do, but
that's luxury.
It's scary to people. A lot of people throw the word luxury around a lot, but we look up the definition of it. Chanel, Dior, these are the fashion houses that are making the real luxury pieces.
Right.
So,
like Yves Saint Laurent and stuff
like that. Yep.
So why high fashion?
For me, I've always wanted to make garments that I could wear that I wasn't really seeing at the mall. So high fashion is a good thing to touch. Also, being a Black designer, I didn't want to be pushed into a box of just being urban hip hop designer, which is funny. They call it Virtual at the Grammys, yeah.
No
they,
one
listed them as urban designer or something.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
So even Virgil, like people were just small minded of tagging him as an urban designer because he's Black. So,
and I mean, it's not his fault that a lot of his fashion designs influenced streetwear and people from urban areas who just loved him. That doesn't make him
and that's
an urban designer.
Yeah, the culture kind of did that, painted that picture, but it's hard because you had Jay-Z with Rockerwear and Sean John. It was still categorized as urban, even though they were doing shows in Paris and stuff. So Black designers are still trying to break that barrier down.
Definitely, that's a mold that needs to be broken.
I just don't like that, that word urban automatically gets stuck with us. And I'm like,
Right, because I mean, how would designers of opposite be? How would they feel if they were called suburban designers? You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you just put an S in front of that urban, how would you feel? Because then you feel like you're boxed in and again, you're just in one category when you fill up every category. That's not fair.
Yeah. It's interesting too because some of the famous artists in the world like Da Vinci and all those, they've seen culture from our culture and they revamp it and make it seem like they created those pieces. But in actuality, it's like, we're the real creatives.
You know what they call those, right? Culture vultures.
Yeah.
Just those people have the platform to elevate what you were trying to do before you could do it.
Yeah, because they had more access and resources for yourself. Now you have a lot more access.
Yeah, I do. So it's a lot. I don't try to overthink it, but it's a lot culture-wise that a lot of people see here, which I've always taken consideration when I'm designing the pieces. So, yeah.
Feel that.
Jacob?
So,
I'm just enjoying the conversation. You know me, I don't know anything about fashion.
You don't have to pull it closer.
I don't know anything about fashion. So for the show, I asked Jevon, a guy like me, what should I do to He's like, honestly, if you're not into fashion, say bargain. Like, be a bargain hunter. And he's a bargain hunter. So,
Yeah.
can you elaborate more? Like what pieces do you find like comforting? In just like, I guess, wearing every day? Do you like just enjoy the comfort wear more than the luxury?
It's hard because with COVID, athleisure became really big, and now I'm trying to get back into more dressing up again. But then in Lorraine, my friends would be like, "Where we're going only here, but you gotta get dressed." Because I try to think the mindset of like, what would I wear in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, but people get scared of outfits here, right? So it's like,
I was just going to say that because a lot of people here have a very, and I'm no diss to a lot of people around here, but dull sense of fashion.
yeah.
So again, I guess it is very intimidating when you step out with a person who understands fashion and understands it at a high level. And that leads me to a question. Does that sometimes get a little, I'll say tiring, knowing that you are a constant walking brand and understanding you always have to put your best foot forward when it comes to getting dressed, and it's kind of annoying that sometimes you can't put on laid back wear because people are always watching what you're wearing.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I still wear my joggers and stuff. When I'm
Okay.
working. Because I'm sewing a lot in the store, so I try to be comfortable. I'm wearing that harem suede stretch harem pant I made. So I try to, when I started designing, I wanted to make pieces that didn't look homemade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you didn't ask me if I made these pants, you're like, oh, okay, those are cool pants.
Definitely.
Jevon Terance pants.
I
So
like that.
I was finding when I was doing shows in Cleveland, no hate to some of the Cleveland designers, but some of the stuff looked homemade and badly made just because they wanted to have clothing out.
Okay.
And you see that stuff in New York too. Like when I do shows in New York, like not finishing things, and I've been since there's a difference between samples and ready to wear, sell off the rack.
What?
I'm probably talking another language.
What are some of those examples? Like what's
So-
sample and opposed to ready wear, I guess.
So sample is just like unfinished seam. So like you'll see like it's called a surging stitch where you're finishing seams and you can just sell it to somebody. But designers do sample sales like we do in the store. So off the runway, worn once or twice, the price is down. But it's kind of, you can even price it up probably because it's on the runway. But
Right.
it's priced down because a model wore it. So it's
Okay.
considered a sample.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fully done, but made enough that you could wear still.
Okay.
Yeah.
For like visual purposes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we send samples to stylists, so because this is like a always grab and go thing. So because they're putting it on a music artist for a video and then shipping it back to you. So
What type like
Well, before you ask this, so like behind you, then is that like rack ready? That's like I could buy that right now if it was my size.
These are rack ready pieces. Yeah.
Oh, we're getting exclusives again.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. We get the drop.
I'm telling you, off the cuff though, the first jacket, like
Yeah. That's
you
my
don't
favorite
see
piece.
that.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite piece.
Yeah,
is the
Volt
first jacket.
Volt yellow, greenish, whatever.
Yeah. So I designed this. One of my production companies did the work on it, and it's an intricate process because I'm like, it has to be this color. You got to do it this way, and it's like a whole month long for one coat.
Do you have a favorite color that you prefer to actually use when you are designing something?
I like to play with color because you learn a lot about color in art school. So I'm willing to take the chances on color. So little by little throughout the years, it wasn't like I came out with a Volt coat in 2000.
Right. Yeah.
Because older guys have to get like sped up, throughout the years and start to see the brand and willing to take the chances on color.
Right.
But yeah, it's just it's always an education in Lorain County. But my quote is, I don't think only Lorain, I think about the world. So when I design pieces, like how can I shop this to Paris or New York? What market is it going to do well in?
Okay.
This is a very basic question, but what is your favorite color? Since you are a fashion person.
I do like this neon Volt. My actual favorite color since I was a kid though is red. So we did like a whole red collection when I did the show, my 10-year anniversary at the Lorain High.
Okay.
Nice.
We had red wigs because I dyed my hair red in 2008.
Nice.
When it comes to OG, I was just doing some stuff that people like, you see red tip locks and stuff, but like I was doing some stuff where it came down to my parents was like, are you on drugs?
No, I remember early on too, like
Yeah.
watching you, Dre, shout out to Dre. You guys were like the older generation I like kind of admired because I'm like, you guys had your clique, you guys knew what you wanted to do. Y'all stayed together, y'all overcome so much. Like you just got married not too long ago. Congratulations on that too. Yeah, so that's a whole other discussion we'll have later on. But like, you guys set a example, and like for me personally, I paid attention. So I'm like, these guys figured it out. I try to curate my life based on like how you guys kind of live and like what you're creating for Lorraine. Because it's important to me to like give some piece of what I'm doing to my city, but like keep moving on. Yeah.
Yep. And you gotta, we saw that from older guys. You know, we had, so in the 90s, we had a lot more organizations. We had the YMCA leagues. Like it was a lot more things. We could go play basketball, open gym at Lorraine Middle.
Classic.
So all these places, Salvation Army. So it was more, I ain't gonna lie, it was more of a community. We have Facebook, and I feel like people connect that as their community, but in real life, we have real communities always looking out because you didn't have social media. So
right, and I miss that so much.
It was different. So yeah, we got to see how the real life of Lorraine was.
Hello, everyone. This clip was brought to you by our sponsor, CreativeGeniusBrand.org. That's www.creativegeniusbrand.org. If you guys go on the website, click on the tab IOU and get yourself some merch and also shop along the website to support local business. Again, thank you guys for supporting and listening.